Spear of Destiny, meaning the Spear of Fate, is a mystical artifact believed to hold the power to alter the destiny of the world if it falls into the right hands. However, since the end of World War II, this spear has been missing. The film begins with this mysterious message, taking us to a dilapidated church in Mexico where two homeless men are scavenging for food. While searching, one of them accidentally steps on a wooden plank, breaking it and creating a hole in the ground. Curious, he reaches inside the hole and pulls out a long-buried object wrapped in a Nazi flag, the Spear of Destiny. The moment the man holds the spear, he hears strange whispers and seems compelled to walk in a particular direction. His companion tries to stop him, but it's as if the man is possessed, ignoring all warnings and stepping onto the road. Suddenly, a speeding car hits him, but to everyone's shock, the man remains unscathed. Instead, a strange mark appears on his hand, and he sprints away, leaving his bewildered friend behind. The story then shifts to Los Angeles, where a woman is seen carrying a cup of tea toward a room. Upon opening the door, she is horrified to find her daughter hanging upside down from the ceiling, growling unnaturally as if possessed by a demonic force. Terrified, the mother screams, her cries echoing through the building. Moments later, a taxi arrives outside the building, from which a half-smoked cigarette is flicked out, followed by the entrance of a renowned exorcist, John Constantine. Constantine, known for his expertise in dealing with the supernatural, is called upon by Father Hennessy, a priest who had failed to exorcise the demon from the girl. Entering the room, Constantine observes the possessed girl tied to a bed in a darkened space. He removes the window curtain, allowing sunlight to fall on the girl, which enrages the demon inside her. Constantine then takes out sacred symbols from his pocket and uses them to torment the demon. With a commanding voice, he orders the entity to leave the girl's body and return to hell. Although demons generally fear Constantine's name, this one resists, issuing threats to Constantine before he finally places a symbol on the girl's forehead and begins chanting. The demon struggles violently but eventually succumbs and appears to have been sent back to hell. However, the girl remains unconscious, worrying Constantine. As he checks her breathing, the demon suddenly attempts to escape through her throat. Constantine quickly reacts, punches the demon, and resumes the ritual. Understanding the seriousness of the situation, he demands a 3-foot-long mirror to trap the demon. The mirror is positioned above the girl, and as Constantine chants, the demon is forced out of her body and into the mirror. To banish the demon permanently, the mirror must be destroyed. However, it gets stuck in the window as they try to throw it out. Just as the demon attempts to escape, Constantine uses all his strength to release the mirror, which crashes onto a taxi below, shattering into pieces and sealing the demon's fate. The girl is freed from the possession, but Constantine is troubled by a sinister pattern in the events. In the world of angels and demons, direct entry into the human realm is forbidden. They can only influence humans indirectly. Constantine realizes that this demon had crossed a dangerous line, violating the rules. While exiting, he notices a painting of the Spear of Destiny and keeps it for further investigation. Meanwhile, an unknown figure keeps a close watch on him. The story then shifts to a police inspector named Angela, who, despite her youth, has a remarkable record of taking down dangerous criminals. She seems to have an uncanny ability to sense their whereabouts and eliminate them. Conflicted about her abilities, Angela seeks forgiveness in a church, where a priest reassures her that her gift might be divine, meant to serve a greater purpose. Finding solace in his words, she returns home. That night, Angela has a nightmare where she finds herself in a hospital bed. She sees a strange mark on her hand, similar to the one on the homeless man who found the spear. Before she can comprehend, she jumps off a rooftop, crashing through glass into water, only to wake up in her bed, unsure whether it was a dream or a premonition. The next morning, Constantine, coughing blood, visits the same hospital from Angela's dream. A doctor informs him that his years of chain smoking have caused terminal lung cancer, leaving him with little time to live. Despite the grim news, Constantine lights another cigarette, leaving with his signature defiance. At the same hospital, Angela arrives to identify her twin sister Isabel's body. Isabel, who was undergoing psychiatric treatment, had allegedly committed suicide by jumping off the hospital roof. Angela refuses to believe her sister would take her own life, knowing her devout faith. She suspects foul play and vows to uncover the truth. Meanwhile, Constantine visits Papa Midnight's club, a neutral ground where half-breed angels and demons coexist peacefully. Constantine shares his concern about demons breaking the rules and entering the human world, but Midnight dismisses his warnings. Disillusioned, Constantine encounters Balthazar, a half-breed demon and his old rival. Their hostility is interrupted by Midnight, enforcing the club's rule of nonviolence. Back at his apartment, Constantine meets Angela, who pleads for his help in investigating her sister's death. Reluctant at first, Constantine refuses but changes his mind when he sees shadowy figures following Angela. He quickly escorts her to a nearby sanctuary to protect her, preparing for an inevitable confrontation with dark forces. The story intensifies as Constantine and Angela uncover a sinister plot involving the Spear of Destiny, half-breeds, and a larger apocalyptic scheme that threatens the balance between heaven and hell. Their journey intertwines as they face overwhelming odds, leading to revelations that could change the fate of humanity forever. At that moment, Constantine wraps his hand in a cloth, burns it with sacred fire, and unleashes a scene terrifying enough to make anyone's blood run cold. Demons surround them from all sides, but they cannot withstand the sacred fire's light and are burned to ashes. Witnessing this, Angela is stunned. Constantine explains to her that these demons were after her sister Isabel. He deduces that the mystery he has been trying to solve is somehow connected to Isabel's death. Constantine agrees to help Angela uncover the truth behind Isabel's demise. He suspects Isabel didn't commit suicide but was forced into it. To confirm, Constantine takes Angela to Isabel's home. If Isabel had committed suicide, her soul would now be in hell. Constantine decides to visit hell to find her. He performs a ritual by placing his feet in a bowl of water and holding Isabel's pet cat, as cats are believed to have a direct connection with the underworld in many cultures. Since the ritual only works for those who believe, Constantine asks Angela to leave the room. He then stares into the cat's eyes, and as Angela shuts the door, time halts, and Constantine finds himself in hell. In hell, time moves incredibly slowly, almost at a standstill, making it seem eternal for anyone who enters. The sight is horrifying. The air is filled with scorching winds and dust, resembling a blazing furnace. Below the surface lies an even more dreadful scene where countless souls are tormented by demons. Constantine ventures across this nightmarish realm to locate Isabel. He carries a vial of holy water in his pocket as protection. The demons soon sense Constantine's presence and begin pursuing him. After some time, Constantine finds Isabel, who is being punished to relive the moment of her death for eternity. He sees Isabel's hospital tag flying away and leaps to grab it. Before the demons can catch him, Constantine breaks the vial of holy water on himself and returns to the mortal world. He shows Angela the tag, proving Isabel did commit suicide, and her soul is now in hell. Meanwhile, Father Hennessy secretly visits the hospital morgue where Isabel's body is kept. When he touches her hand, he uncovers a horrifying secret. However, the same mysterious mark appears on her hand, disturbing Hennessy deeply. Struggling to calm himself, he grabs a bottle of alcohol but finds that no liquid pours out, despite the bottles being full. Panicking, he runs to a liquor store, grabbing bottle after bottle, but cannot drink a single drop. Unbeknownst to him, the alcohol is entering his body, but a spell cast on him creates the illusion that it isn't. Consuming excessive alcohol leads to a painful death, but before dying, Hennessy leaves a clue for Constantine. At that moment, Constantine is with Angela, sharing his life story. Since childhood, he could see demons, which terrified him. When he told his parents, they dismissed him as insane and sent him to a mental hospital. Everyone treated Constantine like he was crazy, driving him to attempt suicide. For 2 minutes, Constantine was clinically dead and sent to hell as punishment for taking his own life. Because time in hell moves differently, those 2 minutes felt like 100 years of unbearable torment. When he returned to life, he believed in the existence of angels and demons. Knowing he was destined for hell after death, Constantine dedicated himself to banishing demons and helping people, hoping to earn God's forgiveness and a place in heaven. Hearing this, Angela reveals that her sister Isabel had a similar gift of seeing demons, but no one believed her. This drove Isabel to the brink, leading to her suicide. Angela admits she ignored Isabel's cries for help, suppressing her own psychic abilities to avoid being labeled insane. Guilt-ridden, Angela asks Constantine to help her regain her lost abilities to make amends and assist others. Constantine agrees and takes her to a bathtub filled with water. He tells Angela she must submerge herself to awaken her powers. Though hesitant, Angela complies, but as she begins to lose breath, Constantine holds her under. Angela struggles, but Constantine doesn't let go. Finally, time stops, and Angela returns from the brink of death, now possessing her psychic abilities. She can see what ordinary people cannot. Angela's newfound abilities lead her to the site of Beeman's death, where she discovers a coin. Constantine identifies it as Balthazar's coin. It was Balthazar who killed Constantine's allies to prevent interference in the demon's plans. Enraged, Constantine arms himself and confronts Balthazar. Leaving Angela in the car with a protective talisman, he storms Balthazar's apartment. He attacks with a holy water-soaked weapon, revealing Balthazar's demonic form. Constantine demands to know how Mammon plans to enter Earth. When Balthazar resists, Constantine uses holy relics to torture him. Fearing banishment back to hell, Balthazar reveals Mammon's plan to use the Spear of Destiny and psychic hosts like Isabel to enter the mortal world. Satisfied with the information, Constantine destroys Balthazar. Meanwhile, Angela grows restless and enters the building, forgetting her talisman in the car. The mysterious force that kidnapped Isabel now targets Angela, dragging her through walls and taking her away. Constantine discovers she is missing and tracks her to the same hospital where Isabel died. Angela is brought to the operating room where Mammon's ritual is to be performed. The homeless man carrying the spear of destiny emerges from the water and prepares to sacrifice Angela, using her as the vessel for Mammon. Constantine and his ally Chaz arrive, devising a plan to fight the demon army gathered there. Chaz blesses the hospital's water tank with holy water, flooding the area with it. As the water drenches the demons, they burn away. Constantine then confronts Mammon, using his chance to force him out of Angela's body. Although the exorcism initially seems successful, Mammon resists, ripping through Angela's abdomen in an attempt to emerge. Constantine and Chaz double their efforts, but in the process, Chaz is killed by the invisible force that brought Angela there. Enraged, Constantine summons the entity responsible by combining powerful symbols on his arms. The entity is revealed to be the half-breed angel Gabriel. Gabriel admits to helping Mammon because she believes God's unconditional love for humans is unjust. She wants to test humanity by bringing hell to earth, ensuring only the worthy remain loyal to God. Furious, Gabriel attacks Constantine, but her angelic powers are stripped by God, leaving her a mere mortal. Lucifer intervenes, stopping Mammon and banishing him back to hell. As Constantine lies dying, Lucifer arrives to personally drag his soul to hell. However, Constantine bargains for Isabel's soul to be freed in exchange for his own. Pleased by the deal, Lucifer grants Isabel salvation, sending her to heaven. Just as Lucifer prepares to claim Constantine's soul, a bright light surrounds him, pulling him toward heaven instead. Constantine's selfless sacrifice redeems him, earning him a place in heaven. Furious, Lucifer cures Constantine of his terminal cancer, ensuring he remains alive to eventually sin and return to hell. In the end, Gabriel, now human, begs Constantine to kill her, unable to bear the pain of mortality. Instead, Constantine punches her, telling her to embrace her humanity. Angela and Constantine share a quiet moment, reflecting on their experiences. Constantine gives Angela the spear of destiny, instructing her to hide it where no one can find it, not even him. Free from his addiction to cigarettes, Constantine visits Chaz's grave to pay his respects. As he leaves, Chaz reappears as a half-breed angel, rewarded for his sacrifices. Smiling, Constantine walks away, ready to embrace his new purpose. Thus, the film concludes.